This is a video on completing RP2 and the Works Cited page. This might be the more complicated of any of the steps because you're really going to be working with two documents here. But at any rate, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do, again, from a class page, you're in Google, go down to the Google Apps link, and that will take you to your drive. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new document. I'm going to go into Google Docs, and on Untitled Document, again, remember that we are titling these with numbers. And so what we're going to do here is we are going to title this document with our block number first 8, and then RP2, and then our code. And then we're going to go down here, click there, go back to my drive. Now you want to go to your original, your RP1 document. RP1, 822, there we go. We'll click on that. And now that comes up, and this should have your text there. We're going to go up to, and this is you need to follow this process on every new document. If you just change titles, you're only going to have one document, but you should have somewhere between 9 and 12 by the time you finish. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go to Edit. We're going to click on Select All. We're going to hold down the Control key and tap C. That copies it. We then go to RP2, hold down the Control key and tap V, and that puts that in. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to put in a number of sources. So you're going to be required, you'll have a particular number of sources you have to come up with. I'm just going to go through 3 here so you get the idea as to how we're going to do this and how we're going to do the MLA. So we're going to go back here to Fusion first, and we're going to do this using the database. So we go to the Library Media Center, click on that, and this database is really the best place to go. Then we're going to click on Opposing Viewpoints, and it may ask you for a password. If it does, you type in schools, S-C-H-O-O-L-S, no caps, and then you click on Proceed, and we are in. Now I'm looking for data on year-round schools, so I'm going to type in here year-round schools. And I'm going to push enter, and we should get some sources. So teachers have greater job satisfaction year-round schools. I want to open that up and see what it says, see if there's anything in here. So we just kind of scan it. Now, is it a good time? Is there any good data in here? It talks about how teachers feel. That might be important. There's a percentage in here in favor of the idea. It talks a little bit about the process. So I'm going to say this is a pretty good source. Now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. I'm going to click on the boxes, and then it says more here. We'll click on more. I want to go down to this thing called EasyBib. So I'm going to click on that. And that will load up EasyBib on, and you want to put it in your Google account. And so this is going to come up. Okay, so I'm going to start a new project. So you click on New Project, and then you may name the project, and you can call it whatever you wish. And as soon as it comes up, we'll come up with a name for that project. I'm thinking we'll just call it schools. Here we go. New project. Okay, project name, I'm just going to call it schools. I think that's really all I need right now. Make sure that this is on MLA. You have some other, well, I guess that's all we can do here. So have it on MLA, and then you click create, and so that's going to create your project. So here are schools. Now I want to do a bibliography entry, so I'm going to click here. And now I go back to the article. Now most of the time you're simply going to copy the URL address up here, but one of the nice things about ProCon is that you can scroll to the bottom and it will give you the URL here, and that way you don't have to worry about missing any by copying on that line. So we're going to highlight it, we're going to hold down Control C. We're going to now go back to EasyBib. We're going to hold down, we're going to click in here where it says cite it. It says cite website by entering its URL or by searching for it. We have its URL. We hold down the Control key, we tap V, and then we click cite it. And it says it's gathering information. Continue to the final step, click there. It says it couldn't, okay, here we go. So it needs a lot of information on that one. So first of all, it is on a website. The article title, so now we're going to have to go back to the article. So the article title is, Teachers Have Greater Job Satisfaction in Year-Round Schools. Okay, so highlight, Control V, go back here, put in that, Control V, whoops, I did that wrong. I did a Control V instead of a Control C. Okay, so highlight it, Control C, go back to EasyBib, hold down Control, type V, there's the title. Looking for the author, so we go back here. Do we have an author? Yes, Shelley Gismondi Hasser. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and type in Shelley middle name Gismonder, and then Hasser, Hasser. Now we need a title for the website, so let's go back to this again. Title of the website is Opposing Viewpoints, so we're going to go back here, we're going to type in Opposing Viewpoints. And who is the publisher? The publisher is Gale. I'll point that out to you on the next when I go back. And now it's looking for its date of publication. So we go here, and the date is 2008. Notice that Gale is listed right there. That is the publisher. And it looks like the date is 2008. So we go back here. We put in 2008. And date access, that is today. So we just click today. That is done, and then it asks us to create the citation. You create the citation. And so now we have the citation created here. So what I want you to do is I want you to copy, I'll just copy and paste citation. So it's copied. Show me this again. Now you go back to RP2. You hit Control V, and there is your citation on RP2. I would go back to this page again, and I'm going to copy in the URL. And the reason you do that is that it will allow you to get back to this source without having to search for it. So we go back to RP2. I'm going to hold down Control and V. Okay, now we have two sources, or now we have a source. Now let's go back and find another one. So we'll go back to Gale, and I'm going to back up, and let's see, the traditional school calendar can continue to work in the future. Well, that sounds like it's in opposition to it, so it might be good to have at least one in favor, one opposed. So I'm going to highlight that, Control, wait, no, I'm not. I'm going to click on it and go to that article. And then I'm going to go down here. Okay, it talks about learning loss. That's good. Arguments for year-long schools, and here's the cost. So that looks like all good stuff. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Again, I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to hit Control C. I'm going to go back to EasyBib. I'm going to hold down Control V. I'm going to click on Cite It, and continue to the final step. And again, they're saying they can't gather information, so we're going to have to gather a lot ourselves. So now we're going to go back to S for article title again, and we go here, and it is the traditional school calendar can continue to work in the future. Highlight it, Control C, go back to our EasyBib, highlight that, or click in that, then Control V, we'll paste it in there. See if we have an author here. We go back to the article, Robin Lockett Carter. So that's what we're going to put in for the author, Robin Lockett Carter. And then the website title is, same thing, it's opposing viewpoints. And the publisher is Gale. Whoops, we're going to look for dates again. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to go back here, find if we have a date, 2008 again. Not seeing any other dates on here. So we go back to this, so we're going to type in 2008. And then date accessed is today. That is good. Create citation. And so now that is here. So we're going to click on that. Now you'll notice it's also down here, but up here you click on it so it is copied. You go back to RP2. You hold down Control V. There that is. You go back to the article, and you highlight the URL and Control C, go back to RP2, and then Control V, and hit the Enter key, and so now you have your second source. Now let's say that we want to find that we're going to go somewhere else. So let's just Google year-round schools, and and see what we come up with. And in a minute it'll give us a list. And when you're doing Google searches, it's important to find decent articles. Now you get this thing about scholarly articles. I would go past that. They're typically pretty good, but A, they're written at a pretty high level, and B, they don't, you're only going to get very short, brief summaries of them. So let's go to, here we have pros and cons of year-round schools. And let's take a look at that and see what it looks like. Well, it's Scholastic, so that's a good place to find information. So we'll scroll down through it and see it defines it, so we're going to get some definitional stuff in there. And it talks about choices for schools, so that all looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, notice here at the bottom they're not giving you the URL. Okay, so we're going to have to take it right out of the address line here. So we start at the end and go all the way to the front, hold down Control-C, go back to EasyBib, click in here, hold down Control-V, there it is, and we click Cite It. And it says gathering information. Well, it looks like they're having more success here. So, where did it go? Continue to the final step. Okay, and here we go. Okay, it has the article title. We don't have an author, so we're going to go back to the article, find the author. Is there an author? It looks as though there isn't an author, so there is no author. So if we don't have an author, we leave it blank. We'll go back to EasyBib. Publisher is Scholastic. And electronically published, do we have a date? Our date, there is no date. So if we don't have a date, we cannot put one in, and it's not giving us a date. So we have to leave that blank. So we then go back again here. Okay, date access today, and then create citation. And so here that is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to highlight that. Oh, excuse me, no we're not. We're going to copy and paste citation. So you click that, and then we go back to RP2 and hold down Control-V. Go back to the article, highlight the URL, Control-C, go back to RP2, and then hold down Control-V, so you now have a link there as well. Now I'll be giving you the number of sources I want you to have. So what you're doing on RP2 is you're simply putting them in here in the order you found them. On a works cited page it has to be different, but notice that EasyBib does a lot of work for us here. So let's assume that we are finished. So what we want to do is to click all three of these and then click Export. Save to Google Docs. And you get this thing, it's redraw. Okay, so now you have to go back to your Google Docs to find it. Not sure if it's sending it to us or not. So I'm going to go back to my drive. I'm going to click over here on Recent. And here we have the recent, we have the bibliography, so we're going to open it up just so you can see what it looks like. And you'll notice that it has actually titled the page Works Cited properly. It has entered these in the proper order and in the proper form. So that's all well and good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new title that will conform to how we title things. So again, 8 for the block number, and then WC, and I'm going to say 1 because it's the first one, and then my code number. And then I'm going to go to share. I'm going to share it with Mr. Floor at our middle school, send it, and then I'm going to go back to RP2 because I have all of my sources in here now, so I'm going to share this as well, and I'm going to share it with Mr. Floor at our middle school, and okay, so note I didn't do a very good job there. Alright, so MR, and then I have to click on that. Yeah, there we go. So there we go, and then that's done, and so that's it. So for RP2, I should have 2 documents from you. One is WC1, one is RP2. RP2 is simply a list of a number of sources that you can use for your paper. WC is those sources in proper MLA format, virtually ready to be published. But we're going to make some additions to that as we move on, and we'll probably cover that as we go. And so that is it for RP2. I hope this was helpful.